we will be discussing all the questions that came in 2026 of AMAC. I'll be telling you what are the source regarding the same, such as for example place value system. It was asked from Ubinder Singh and the section of Indian mathematics, page number 869. Significant number of questions. I'm not showing the whole questions here, but significant number of questions have been inspired from the other PYQs such as NDA, CISF, CAPF in the last 5 years. Hi everyone, Sreejay here and welcome to yet another video of Civilsdaily IAS. Before going into the content of this particular video, let me ask you a very simple question. Most of you must have written the 2026 paper, right? Which was the most important thing that surprised you the most? Was it the change in the pattern of the questions? The statement and assertion model questions like we used to have in the CSAT comprehension? Or was it the lengthiness of the paper? Usually we have close to like 40 to 48 pages, but it has increased to 56 pages in 2026. Or was it the change in the weightage of the questions? Polity has declined, environment has declined, and art and culture has significantly increased. Now, if you ask me the same question, I'll say that the weightage of the question was that surprised me the most. Because if you look at here, environment which usually hovers around 13 to 15 or even 18 has dropped down to 8. Economy has remained the same, but when you look at the polity as well, 15 questions usually come in polity. That has significantly dropped down to 6 questions. And there was a sharp increase in international relations, science and technology and AMAC as well. Now, the biggest surprise for me was the AMAC questions as well. Because as you can see here, questions were very random. Now, who studies about place value system? Who studies about all these sources? We don't know from where UPSC has taken the same or what has inspired UPSC to put these questions, right? Very factual questions. Rajabi Lawal, Hallis Salaya, Pandit Mallikarjun Mansu, and also Kshetrapani as well, making it without any other opinion the hardest history questions ever has been asked by UPSC. For the fact that these questions are not from the standard sources. Now comes the important question. What should be your strategy then? Should you follow the old strategies such as go along with the same NCERT 6 standard, 7 standard, 12 standard themes 1, part 2, part 3, or you move towards a new approach so that you can prepare yourself for the 2027? Now, this is what I will be discussing on the upcoming webinar on Monday 7 p.m. We will be diving very deeper on the strategy for AMAC for 2027. So should you go with the old strategies such as following the same NCERTs that we discussed Abhi, or should you go for the new NCERTs? Also, we will be discussing all the questions that came in 2026 of AMAC. I'll be telling you what are the source regarding the same, such as for example place value system. It was asked from Ubinder Singh and the section of Indian mathematics, page number 869. I'll be mentioning the source of all the questions of AMAC. As you can see here, different statements, different sources are there. Also, we'll be discussing about the number of questions that have come from different books. Such as, for example, Ubinder Singh says 6 questions came. 12 standard NCERT themes part 1, 3 questions came. Introduction to Indian art, 2 questions came. Satish Chandra, Placid Partition. How many questions have come for each and every particular book? And also, one of the most important thing that I want to discuss in this webinar will be the importance of doing PYQs, because if you analyze the same, you will understand that significant number of questions, I'm not showing the whole questions here, but significant number of questions have been inspired from the other PYQs such as NDA, CISF, CAPF in the last 5 years. Now this has been asked in 2025 UPSC. You can see here Cambodia, they have given as river flowing in the region Vibhas. Now Vibhas, from this question we understand that Vibhas is the former name of Bias, right? The same question has been repeated here. Bias they have written here. And what was the old name? Yayavati. It's not Yayavati, right? It's actually Vibhas. So a direct question from the 2025 UPSC. And also in case of ND as well, 2025. Which one of the following cultures founded Sanji Stupa is not directly inspired by Buddhist ideas? And you can see here that empty seat is there. The same empty seat has been asked by what does an empty seat represent in Buddhism iconography in 2026. So these are only 2 examples that I have shown you here, but there are significant number of examples which has been asked, which has been inspired by the UPSC to ask in these questions. So the webinar on Monday at 7 p.m. will be about this. I will be showing you the sources. I'll be mentioning the relevance of going through the PYQs of the last 5 years of almost all the other UPSC examinations, and I'll tell you how you have to do the same, because it's not possible for you to read all the question papers, right? So we will be doing it for you. And also I'll tell you what are the sources regarding the same. Should you focus on Obinder Singh? In case if you're focusing on Obinder Singh, what are the chapters you have to read for the same? Obviously, it's not possible for you to cover all these things. So therefore, I'll give you a practical approach on how you have to do ancient, medieval and horticulture for the 2027. And always remember, the competition is getting very hard and very hard. And the margin of error is decreasing in every prelims. So don't try to treat AMAC as any other subject wherein you completely ignore the same and you only focus areas. The margin of errors is significantly declined. So therefore, you need to focus AMAC for 2027. So take care everyone. So see you all for the webinar on Monday 7 p.m. and we'll discuss what should be the practical approach for these subjects for 2027. So thank you.